Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Monday, October 20. In Squiz Kids Today, Albo's big meeting with Trump. Diwali celebrations light up, teen pilots and record-breaking rowers, and a K-pop demon singalong. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
As we wake up this morning and head off to school, our Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, will be touching down in the United States, getting ready for a really important meeting. Albo, as he likes to be known, is meeting this week with US President Donald Trump. So, why is that a big deal? Well, it's been many months in the making, and it will be significant for our country for a bunch of different reasons, including the fact that, thanks to its size, there are 340 million people in the United States compared to the 26 million we have here in Australia, and also thanks to the position of power that the United States holds in the world generally, it's in our country's interests to have a good relationship with America, which is what Albo will be trying to achieve when he goes to the White House, which is President Trump's home in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. They'll talk about how our two countries can help each other out when it comes to things like submarines and defence, and how we can work together to trade stuff between our countries. And yes, you can be sure there will be lots of news around about it this week. Just as there'll be lots of headlines about how we as a country have differences of opinion on certain things to the opinions held by America and its president. And you know what? That's okay. As we always say on this podcast, it's perfectly fine if you disagree with someone, just do it in a respectful way. And on the subject of respectful disagreement, Albo's visit this week comes after millions of Americans took to the streets in cities all over their country this weekend to protest against Donald Trump, because respectful disagreement is a really important part of any democracy.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in India, where the night is about to be illuminated by millions and millions of lights and candles as Diwali celebrations kick off there. Diwali celebrates the victory of light over darkness, of good over evil, and of knowledge over ignorance. Celebrations involve lighting lamps and candles, decorating homes, sharing food, exchanging gifts, and fun, setting off fireworks. How cool. For the approximate 1 billion Hindus in the world, Diwali commemorates the return of Prince Rama after defeating evil. And yes, there will be Diwali celebrations happening in India, but also all over the world, with local Hindu communities all over Australia preparing to mark the holy day. Maybe in your community too. If you're one of the many Aussie Hindu Squiz Kids listening today and celebrating Diwali, may it be a joyous one.
Squiz Kids salutes.
This is the segment of the podcast where we celebrate the incredible achievements of fellow humans. And today, there are 3 that are worthy of a Squiz Kids salute. The first is teen pilot Byron, the 16-year-old Aussie kid from Queensland who flew into the history books late last week, becoming the youngest supported pilot to circumnavigate the world. What? Circumnavigate is a fancy word for travelling around something. And in Byron's case, he flew around the world in a tiny plane, leaving his mum and dad very worried, and millions of supporters obsessively following his progress on the electronic flight trackers. Byron left Australia back in the beginning of August, and he touched down at Brisbane Airport last Thursday, dedicating his achievement to any kid, anywhere, that has a dream to do something remarkable. Meanwhile, it's a big Squiz Kids salute too to the incredible rowing duo of Jess Rowe and Miriam Payne from the United Kingdom, who set foot on land in Cairns in far north Queensland at the weekend after spending 5.5 months at sea, rowing 15,000 kilometres from South America all the way to Australia. Now, just stop and think about that for a moment. 5.5 months at sea, 15,000 kilometres rowing in a small boat across the entire Pacific Ocean, facing enormous seas, close encounters with whales, winds blowing you off course, and just a set of oars for each of you to make sure you get to your destination. See, you can achieve anything when you put your mind to it.
Pop Culture Corner.
I don't know about you, but I reckon I sound just like Huntrix when I sing Soda Pop in the shower. Which is why I'm about as excited as it's possible for a dad of a teenage girl to be about the news at the weekend that K-Pop Demon Hunters sing-along version is heading back to cinemas in time for Halloween. Yes, Saja boys and girls, the hit movie will be back on the big screen with all of the words to the hit songs written along the bottom of the screen for one great big night of Halloween-inspired sing-along silliness. The sing-along cinema experience was such a hit when it first rolled out in August, it's coming back for more. And parents, don't say you haven't been warned. And it's a big thank you to all of the Squiz kids who have sent in suggestions for House Speaker Milton Dick to read out in federal parliament when our politicians in Canberra start to get a little bit rowdy.
This is question time, not sledge time.
Order.
Sit down. Prime Minister resume his seat. Members will cease interjecting. I'm issuing a general warning. There's no point me repeating myself over and over again.
I have asked for silence. I've asked for silence. It applies to you.
Order.
Thank you to 7-year-old Lily, who has suggested that he should say, "This is not a monkey house, this is a parliament house." And also to 9-year-old Isla from Clayfield, who thinks he should try the technique her teacher uses to get the class to settle down by saying, "flat tire," and having the kids all reply with, "shh." And also thanks to Clark from Year 2 in Murrum Bateman, who says whenever his class has been a little bit noisy, his teacher says, "waterfall," and all the class put up their hands and make the shh noise like running water. Such great suggestions. Keep 'em coming, kids. And remember, in an upcoming Squiz Kids Q&A with Milton, he'll pick the best ones, and then he'll read them out in an upcoming sitting of federal parliament. How cool. Send your suggestions in to squizkids@thesquiz.com.au.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Name the important Hindu festival taking place this week. That's right, it's Diwali. Question number 2. Which country is Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese visiting this week? Did you say the United States of America? You would be correct. Question number 3. How old is the teenage Aussie pilot who flew around the world? Well done if you had your listening ears on and you said 16.
Shout-outs.
It's Monday, October 20. Today is International Chef's Day. And look, I'm here for any celebration that has to do with food. And this week also marks the start of Media Literacy Week. And we'll have more to say about that as the week goes on. But today is also a special day for these Squiz kids, celebrating a birthday today and tomorrow. Finn from Clayfield, Billy from Pakenham, Evie from Hillsville, Anne from Canberra, Xander from Glebe, Ezekiel from Warnbro. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Scarlett from Wynnum, Harlow from Barossa Valley, and Andrew from Ganmain. And a special shout-out today to Bridget in Year 1 at St Ignatius School in Toowong. And, well, will you look at that? We're back to classroom shout-outs this week. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Room 17 and Ms. Potter at Bellevue Heights Primary School. And a special mention to the grade 6s who are graduating this year. Year 4 Blue with Miss B at Mount St Patrick Primary School in Murwillumbah. Class 6ED with Miss Dinakis at Millgate Primary School. And Class 5K with Miss Klemke at Kooringal Public School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with episode 2 of our excellent renewable energy series, Planet Warriors. And tomorrow we'll be meeting our breezy hero Gust, who's going to sweep in to show us how spinning blades can turn moving air into clean electricity. Don't miss it. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.